friction. Simply force of friction means it is defined as, it is a force. Simply, it is a force that causes the that oppose the motion of a body over a surface. That is the force of friction. And so we get this force of friction. And here already I gave the example. So you are let us take an example, best example. You throw a ball, some person thrown a ball, then at the time after he throw it is rolling on ground, it is rolling to certain distance, and gradually you observe it, gradually it reduces its speed, and finally at one point it stops. Initially you throw the ball, it is rolling on ground, gradually the ball loses its speed, it loses its speed, and finally it becomes rest. That means what happened to that ball means, so the ball is in contact with the earth. So that the earth opposes with a force here. They due to that force, the moving ball stops at one position. So that is we can call force of friction. Now one more example. So bicycle, a person pedaling bicycle. So if you stop the pedaling the bicycle will move to certain distance. After some time also it is moving, and as it proceeds to forward, the bicycle proceeds to forward, the speed is reduced. After some time it becomes rest. That means the bicycle stops because of the there is a friction offered between the earth and the tires of the bicycle. So this is an example. Look at this ball, it is moving on the ground, and after some time it will stop because of the frictional force. And here the person riding, so he is initially pedaling cycle, he stop, if he stop the pedaling the cycle, then at that time, so it is the bicycle moves to certain distance, and then it stops because of the frictional force. Now always the frictional force is acting opposite to your applied force. Now see, you are applying force in this direction, at that time the frictional force is opposite to your direction. So look at this diagram. Here, this is the ground. I placed one rectangular block or box on the ground. And now I am applying a force. Force means pull or push. Here applying a pushing force on the block. Then it is after application of force, what happened? What is the change we get? So the body or the rectangular body moves along the direction of force. It is moving along the direction of force. But look at here. What about the frictional force? At the contact area, the frictional force is acting opposite to the pushing force. So that is the difference we need to observe clearly. So this is our applied force, and this is opposite force. So frictional force is always applied or acts opposite to your applied force. And in which direction you apply force, along the direction the body moves. So this is the friction. Next one. So if a person is in moving, there is a one moving body. So you apply one unbalanced force on a moving body. Initially, the body is in moving. You applied an unbalanced force. Then at that time, the speed of direction of a motion is changes. That means there may be a change in the direction of body. So for suppose, if I remove the unbalanced force from the moving body, then what happens? Then if you remove the unbalanced force from the moving body, then it will continue to move with the old speed. Okay, so that is the two conditions. So next one, types of forces. We have the actually these types of forces you don't have in your syllabus. So we have to you have to know each and everything in this subject. So types of forces. We have the different types of forces. First one, based on the application. Based on their application, we have the two types of forces, that is contact force and non-contact force. Now, what about contact force? So, what about contact force? Contact force means simply in the name we have the answer. So, there is a force exists between the bodies when the bodies are in contact with each other. That is one type of definition. One more also I give. Listen. So, there is one body acts a force on another body when those are in contact with each other. That is called contact force. That is also one more definition, and I give third definitions also. So contact force means the force acting directly, either directly or through the medium, is known as contact force. The force acting directly, either directly or through the any medium is known as, when there is a contact between the two bodies, is known as contact force. So you may use any one. Simply contact force means if one body applies a force on another body, when the two bodies are in contact with each other, that is contact force. Or it is a force acts either directly or through the medium, are called contact forces. Clear? Now go to the different types of contact forces. Again, the contact forces are, these are we can call types or examples. You may take any manner. So again, these contact forces can be divided into some subtypes. That is first one, normal force. Normal force means, normal in the name we have. Normal means nothing but a perpendicular. Normal force means if contact forces between the bodies. See, if contact force between the bodies are perpendicular to the surfaces are in contact, such type of forces are known as normal force. Simply the two bodies are there. That means there is a table. On the table, I place one wooden block on the table. So the wooden block will apply the force on the table. That force is along the downward direction, right? The wooden block is there now on the table. That is applied. That wooden block applies some force on the table. That force is acting towards the downward direction. So that is that type of forces we can call normal force. If you observe the thing, that force is perpendicular to the surface of the table. So we can call it as a normal force. I will show you with the diagrams. Just wait. Next one, muscular force. Muscular force means it is the force applied by our muscle, human muscle. So a best example, if you want to pick anything from the ground, you need to you are using your hand to pick anything from the ground, right? For that, you need to apply your muscle power. So that is the muscular power. Clear? If you want to bring anything, if you want to pick anything, that is a book, pen, or anything it is, so we need to apply some muscle force. We need to apply some muscle power. That is, we can call muscular force. Muscular force means it is the force applied by our muscle. So even though for application of muscle, so we have to contact with that book. So see, there is a book on the table. You need to pick the book from the table. Further, you definitely have contact with that book. Otherwise, without contact, we can't remove the book from the table. So that is belongs to contact force. Next one, third one, go to the mechanical force. So mechanical force means it is the force applied by a mechanical component of machines. There is a different types of machineries are there in the industries. So at that in that machine has the mechanical components. So mechanical force means it is the force offered by a mechanical component of machines. So best example, if you observe at roadside, we have sugarcane juice machine. So for that two teeth-type circles we can call it as the gears. We have the mechanical language, we have the we can call it as a gears. So two gears are there, two gears are moving. Then, so if you want to get the juice from the sugarcane, you need to put a sugarcane between those two rollers. Those two rollers are moving, and those two rollers crushes the sugarcane. At that time only you may get the juice from the sugarcane. So as see in that case, so the mechanical component, that is the machine. Actually, it is a mechanical machine. In that machine, the mechanical component applies some force on the sugarcane. Then that is we can call mechanical force. Mechanical force means it is the force applied by a mechanical component of the machine. It is known as mechanical force. So examples also gave already. So next, take the frictional force. Now only we discussed it. Frictional force means it is a force that that oppose the body over a surface, or it is an opposing force. I am ready to give one more definition also for friction. So frictional force, now only we discuss one force. That is, what is the first definition? It is the force that oppose the body over a surface. That is one definition. Another also, frictional force means it is an opposing force that acts on a body to stop the motion of another body. So that is one more definition. You may take any one, no problem. Next one, non-contact forces. So already we discussed the contact forces earlier. Now go for the non-contact forces. First of all, what is non-contact force? Simply, it is opposite to contact. Simply, you said the answer. What is non-contact force means? Sir, contact force means bodies are in contact. Non-contact force means bodies are in non-contact. That's also right. So non-contact force means the force acts through a distance. Even though there is no contact between the bodies, the force is acting on the body by other body. So there is no contact. So we can define. So the force acting at a distance without any direct contact between the two bodies is known as non-contact force, or you may define in another manner. So non-contact force means this the force exists between the bodies when the two bodies are in separate at a distance d, even though there is no contact between the two forces. The force is exists between the two bodies. Now we have a question, sir. Without contact, how we can get the force, and how the non-contact force is acting? So let me explain. So first of all, go to the definition. It is a force that acts through space without making direct contacts. It is acting through space also. Even though there is no direct contact or there is no contact, the forces exist, or the force is acting on one body by another body. So here again we have the types of non-contact forces. So what is first one? Gravitational force. As we know all about the gravitational force. Gravitational force means simply each and every body in the universe will attract the other body towards itself with a force is known as gravitational force. That force we can call gravitational force. If we observe each and every body having some mass in the universe, every body try to attract the other body with a force F. That force we can call gravitational force. Best example, if you projected any body to upwards, so the body moves to certain height. After that, again it's fall down. Why it's fell down means there is a force acting on a body. That force make the stone or any body projected upwards to move to the ground, towards the ground. So that is the gravitational force. If you throw any body, if you projected any body upwards, so after reaches certain height, the body falls down again. That is because the earth attracts the body with a force here. That is we can call gravitational force. Next, go to the electrostatic force. What about electrostatic force? Electrostatic means it is the force existing between the charges. We have the two types of charges, positive charge and negative charge we have. In the charges, according to Dr. Scientist debate, like charges repel with each other and unlike charges attract with each other. Like charges means plus and plus, minus and minus, and unlike charges means plus and minus and minus and plus. These are the unlike charges. So like charges repel with each other, unlike charges attract with each other. That is given by the scientist debate. So next one, in this electrostatic force, so if you make a body is fully charged, take one body, make it fully charged, that fully charged body have the ability to attract the uncharged particles. To attract the uncharged particles. That is the electrostatic force. Here see, there is no contact between the charged body and uncharged body. Even though there is no contact between the charged one and uncharged one, there may be attraction between those two bodies. That is we can call electrostatic force. Next one, last one, magnetic force. Magnetic force means, what about magnetic force? So it is the force offered by magnets. The force offered by magnets is known as magnetic force. Best example, if you keep the iron piece near to the magnet, the iron was attracted by a magnet. That is the magnetic force. And if you take two magnets, if like poles repel with each other and unlike poles attract with each other. Now put a unlike charge, unlike charge of a unlike pole of a magnet near to the one more magnet, then those two magnets are attract with each other. So that is belongs to the magnetic force. These are the different types of forces. Let us look at this diagram. See first one, Nana, here. If you observe, look at cursor. This is the blue color is the table. On table, I place one rectangular block. This block will apply some force on the table. That force moving along the downward direction. And see here, this is the table. Huh? This table also applies some force on your body to resist this force. Just wait. So that is we can call normal force. Normal force means simply this is this body, the rectangular yellow color rectangle applies some force on it. That force acting towards downwards. And here the table try to withstand the force applied by the rectangular block. Then this force, this is the force offered upward direction. So this force is offered by this table, and this downward force is offered by this one. Then these two forces are perpendicular to each other, perpendicular to their surfaces. So we may call it as the normal forces. Next one, muscular force. Already see, look at this diagram. Observe these diagrams. So here, see, muscular force means you need to look at this muscular. You need to lift some weight. For that, you need to apply some force with muscle. And mechanical force. This is the mechanical component. Pulley is there. You need to. He want to take some water from the well. So for that, he uses a pulley. That is a mechanical component. And already you know that skating. So frictional force between these wheels and ground. So let me put another diagram. Look at this. This is the non-contact forces. So non-contact force, gravitational force. Due to the gravitational force, each and everything in the universe will attract towards the ground. That is the first diagram. Next, electrostatic force. In the electrostatic force, we have the charges. Charges are attracted. Unlike charges are attracted with each other. So that is a representation. And third one, magnetic force. There is a nail in front of the magnet. Magnet has two poles, north and south. So magnetic force means the magnet the magnets attract the iron with a force, that is magnetic force. So these are the different types of forces we have. Next one, and Galileo experiment of motion on object on inclined plane. See, there is an inclined plane. Two inclined planes are there. So this is an inclined plane, and this is one more inclined plane. If I drop this a ball or marble, you can call it as a marble or ball. So if you drop this marble or ball, it is moving along this inclined plane, and after reaching this position, the ball climbs this inclined plane again. So at what distance, from what distance you drop this ball, and same also it reaches the same height on the another inclined position. So let me go for diagram. So first one, I placed this marble or ball at one position at a distance height from the ground, and I dropped here. Then it is slowly moving. Slowly means as it move forward, when speed is increases, and finally reaches this position, and again he climbs along this inclined position and reaches the same height. At what height you dropped from the ball, and after some time also on second inclined plane, it reaches the same height. So this is now what I do here. Just I can change this angle of inclination. So I can remove this and I can place it here. So even though I place it in this manner, it is coming in this direction and climbs along this inclined plane and reaches the same height. Again, I change the inclination angle. I make this inclination is like that. So it is coming from this at a certain height h, and it is moving along this inclined plane and reaches the finally same height. So finally what happened, I make it as a horizontal. I put it horizontal, then it is going along the horizontal. So now what you observed in this experiment means you are releasing the body or you are dropping the body from a certain height. So you are dropping from certain height. Then at what height you dropped? So after climbing the another inclined plane also, it reaches the same height. That means here there is no change in the height of the body, but there is a change in distance. See, this line and this line are the distance changes, and this line and this line distance changes. That means if you decrease the inclination of our inclined plane, then distance is also increases. See, if you observe here, distance traveled by body is increases, but what about height? Height is same in this. So this is the Galileo experiment.